I think most Steelers fans recognize that Chris Shula is the number one option, the best option for the Steelers' vacant head coaching spot. And even better, he turned down the Browns' head coaching spot. So, what a perfect man to be the Steelers' head coach. And yes, I did edit him in Diamond Grills and Chains because there's just certain people who shouldn't have ChatGPT, and I'm one of them. But Shula is a guy who elevates his talent. And a lot of the guys on his defense were rejects on other teams, but he put them in better positions. He really elevated their game. So it's not like his defense is this star-studded defense where it's like 2021 Steelers, right? You got guys everywhere that everybody recognizes. No, Chris Shula was the one who really put his guys on that next level, and something that the Steelers have been needing because the Steelers are the complete opposite. They got the talent, but the coaches make that great talent look piss poor. I mean, that's just the reality. The film backs that up. For years and years and years with Tomlin, Terrell Austin, whoever it was just not great at all. So Chris Shula, you bring in him, and then you imagine what Joey Porter Jr., Derek Harmon, Keanu Ben, all these young talented guys are able to do with a coach that can actually elevate them schematically, not just give them, some hand claps and all right, good job, and motivate them, because that doesn't mean as much as it once meant. The game has evolved, right? So not only would they get that in Chris Shula, but his staff would come in, and it would probably be Nate Scheelhaase as an offensive coordinator, which would be a great spot for Scheelhaase because he was the Rams pass game coordinator, right? And we know how great and creative they are, and anybody under Sean McVay, that coaching tree, they are very competent. So what an upgrade that would be for the Steelers on the offensive end, because their pass game really has looked the same, whether it was Matt Canada, Arthur Smith. It was just stale. It's completely stale. They need to get DK Metcalf going. They need to get another wide receiver in there in the first round. So having him as your offensive coordinator, you need a guy who is very creative when it comes to the passing attack, but also he would know a thing or two about getting the run game going because, again, under the Sean McVay coaching tree. And then defensive coordinator, you got a lot of options, but Raheem Morris was also under that Sean McVay coaching tree, so I would expect him to be brought in. And Pittsburgh is the perfect place for all these guys. I was hearing Chris Sims talk about, it's not the greatest spot for a new head coach. I would disagree. I think this is a perfect spot for head coaches to come in, kind of just rebuild everything. You got young talent offensively and defensively. So I don't even think it would take too long for the Steelers to actually become a great team. And that's not me just, being a Steelers fan, being delusional. I think this team could make a serious turnaround and faster than what most people think. So bring in Chris Shula. I think that's clearly the number one option right now. I mean, you see what he was doing versus the Bears. Yeah, that touchdown that Caleb Williams threw was just amazing. But outside that, what? You had 10 points scored, and you're facing a guy who's extremely competent in Ben Johnson. That's super impressive. So I would be super excited to see him with guys like Derek Harmon, Keanu Benton, Joey Porter Jr. They got the talent. Jack Sawyer, Nick Herbig, I could go on and on. Offensively, Zach Frazier, Troy Fautanu. Hopefully DK Metcalf picks it back up. Maybe pick a guy like Mekhi Lemon round one. But this team can go places, and it shouldn't be a 2-3 year process with the right coaches. So I'm really excited to see them probably hiring Chris Shula. I think that is what everybody would put their money on if they had to guess. And this team is going to go in the right direction. This team has a bright future ahead of them now that Tomlin had the self-awareness to step down, because it was the same thing over and over again. And if you looked at the team schematically, like even Julian Edelman, I kept reposting this clip, and the second time it got like 300,000 views, first time it got around 700,000, but it was just Julian Edelman saying how the Steelers run the same thing on defense every damn time, and it's so easy to, just get a bunch of yards from the slot. Look at what Christian Kirk did to them in the playoffs. So things just weren't changing, and now that they have the opportunity to bring these guys in, it'll be a massive difference. It'll be a huge difference. So super excited. If you're a Steelers fan, you just got to be pumped about this new era that's coming up. And again, I think Chris Shula is the number one guy for the job. But let me know what you guys think about the Steelers possibly hiring Chris Shula. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. And that is it for me on this one. Peace.